We are going to be playing a game called Far From Noise, which, as per usual, I have opened long enough to, where's my brain? Probably the place where it usually goes this late at night. I've opened long enough to get it set up in OBS, and that's pretty much it. That said, I do know the premise because I read the description, and I want to give fair warning to all of you watching this, whether you're watching it live or watching it on YouTube, that this game does deal with death to some degree. It's basically entirely about the space between life and death, as the premise of the game is that you're in a car having a conversation hanging half off the edge of a cliff. So if you're not in the right headspace for that kind of thing, feel free to bounce out as you feel is appropriate for yourself. And if the game heads into really, really difficult territory, then I'll have additional content warnings on YouTube at the bottom of the description. But of course, because I have not played this game, I do not know as of right now. That said, I'm actually really excited to play it. Despite the sort of ominous intro there, I'm actually really pumped. So I'm sort of like based on the visuals alone, but I guess also sort of the description, the tone of the description. I get some slight a bit of a concerning warning. My bad. Getting some, what is it, The Last Tree? Is that what we played? Is that what it's called? I'll look it up just to make sure. The first tree? The First Tree, yeah. I got some The First Tree vibes out of it, so looking forward to it. But without any further ado, let's head into the game and see how it goes. Launch game. It's a game by George Batchelor. I'm going to be playing with keyboard and mouse, but I've been told that it supports controller play if that's something that you're into. Okay, and this is how it opens. It's just a cliff and some ocean and some menu options. You can see the options here. Far From Noise. It's interesting that it doesn't give us a title on this screen. That's a little unusual. Obviously, we don't have any menu music or anything like that. We just have this calm, serene, natural scene. But it's done in this sort of low poly, limited palette style, which comes up in indie games kind of frequently, especially in Unity games, because it's cheap to produce and cheap to optimize. But also, taking that step towards stylization, making the conscious choice, lets you get more impactful visuals, and something that actually will feel effective and interesting to look at and to experience, without having to dump thousands and thousands of hours into dev time. But I'm definitely getting this this is a very peaceful way to start a game, especially knowing what's going to happen, based on the description of the game itself. And so I'm sort of expecting more of a leisurely introspective tone than something really harrowing. So let's find out. Oh, and the car's already there. What a way to start. Hello? Get some music. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Right, just breathe. Deep breaths. As concerning. In. Out. No sudden movements. Everything will be all right. It's just a cliff. It's probably not even that steep anyway. Or deadly. Definitely not deadly. Undeadly. A lively. It'll be just like the log flume. People queue for these kinds of thrills. Oh god. Oh, the tipping. Almost at the front. Next stop. Fun. Okay, all I've got to do is not panic, and everything will be alright. Deep breaths, remember. Just don't panic. Panic-free zone over here. Easy as that. Don't panic. People have been in worse situations than this. And been totally fine. That's true. People have fallen out of airplanes and been fine. Just gotta keep that positive mental attitude. Cliff is an obstacle my mind will overcome. Positive mental attitude. It's a beautiful day, and I can get through this. And right now, it's just me and you. We're naming the car. Ooh, Laura, Carlos, or Mala? Carlos is a pun. So... Carlos. We're in this together, Carlos. You beautiful, rusty skeleton. At least we have that. It's not that bad. Oh, hello, squirrel. Hi. Every day I'll wake up. Oh, Jesus. That actually startled me. Crack my back. Inhale the salty sea air. think about love. I've got, like, most of a toothpaste tube. I'll become a poet. Scratch my heart and soul into the windows and doors, and cast myself to sea like a message in a bottle. Spend the rest of my days with my fellow seaweed. Just waiting for an asshole seagull to land on the hood and doom us. Yeah. And then I'll die. Dead and buried at the bottom of the sea. With nothing but a failed life and a wet car to leave behind. Great. Alright, girl, it's time to take action. Oh, that tells us something about our main character. Ocean, I gotta take a rain check on our rendezvous. I like that. I like talking to the ocean. I like the amount of anthropomorphizing we're doing as way to, like, keep ourselves calm and feel like we're not in this alone. Try the ignition. Oh, that's not great. Damn it. I thought you were done breaking down, Carlos. I can't afford to wait all night this time. That's a good point. Now we're sending a smoke signal. Oh, hello, squirrel. I don't see the squirrel. Have you come to say hello? Hello. You need a name. How about... Meg. Like, you know, nutmeg. Because squirrels like nuts. Oh, Meg. So small. So carefree. The world is a playground built just for you. Dancing amongst the leaves, just brushing the circle. Or the surface, rather. That was my brain realizing that the smoke was done, so we didn't have a smoke signal anymore. Oh, there's Meg. Oh, young Megan has come over to say hello. Hi, Meg. Not a talker, eh? Oh, Meg, so zealous. So full of life. Have you come to tell me your real name? Is your voice too tiny for ears? Oh, watch your step there, Megan. I'm not exactly glued on here. Meg, please. Meg. Meg. You could pick this up later if you like. Sorry if you're not into Meg. What about Mavis or Marge? I'll just stop talking. Deep breaths. Marjorie, be careful. It's a long drop. Oh God. Oh my God. I am so ready to get off this cliff. Like, is that it? An engine failure? A passing squirrel? It all stops. Everything just done. Over. I don't know. Maybe this is fine. Maybe this is just how it ends. It's gonna end at some point, right? I'm just skipping the boring bit. Probably. And a bunch of the interesting bits, hopefully. Like, damn. Oh, hello. Whoa. Sweet Jesus, look at the size of that thing. Antlered champion of the woods. You could throw me off this cliff in a heartbeat. Pray don't ram me, antlered wood boy. I'm not but a lonely soul. Can you hear me? I'll take that as a no. Unless he's ignoring me. I'd ignore me if I were him. Serves me right for intruding, I guess. It moved. Hey, buddy. Thumbnail? Hey. What are you looking at, dear? Fetch help, friend. Get a net or something. Or a magnet. A giant magnet. Or a family of eagles. Classic reference there. Or just stand there. Looking at nothing. That's helpful too. What are you doing? Can I just wait? Can I just wait out the dialogue? We haven't tried that yet. What do you want? Looks like the answer is no. I'm sorry for being here. It was an accident. Can you help me? Perhaps. Oh. Whoa. Okay, this is happening now. Did you just talk? There are none happiest in this world, but those who enjoy freely a vast horizon. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying this. Right. So, can you hear me? I can. Holy God. Well, my mind melted sooner than expected. Pleased to make your acquaintance. The feeling reciprocates. We've met on a significant day, Woodland Boy. Significant how? I'm glad you asked. Today, I have decided to go insane. Is that so? It is so. And how did you decide? Decide what? To go insane. Firstly, I drove off a cliff. Secondly, I talked to a deer. You know, fair. Thirdly, thusly. Yet to be written. Uncharted. Uncharted. The vast unknown in which I befriend an elk. And then die. Not an elk. Sorry. What were you saying about horizons? There are none happiest in this world, but those who enjoy freely a vast horizon. I don't think this qualifies for freedom or happiness. Your soul is free to follow the flow of the ocean's tide. You've got a funny idea of free, my hooved friend. You are alive. For now. You have an ocean of possibility before you. You mean the ocean. The literal ocean. Well, you have both. But the feeling of looking deeply across an ocean, there is no parallel. The pulse of the tide. The sigh of the breeze. Captivating, elusive horizon. You have simply been gifted an anchored perspective. Fortunate, I would even say. I think this is this deer is presenting a live in the moment philosophy to us. A short burst of oceanic enlightenment then, maybe. And then eternal death. You seem to still be clutching on to me. This isn't about life, it's about death. Does it have to be? Yeah, this is feeling very, very pointed, right? We're defining, because you can look at this experience in two ways, much like you can look at mortality in general in two ways. Either it's about the life, or it's about the death. You know, a lot of the fear and anxiety about death comes from building your life around the eventuality of death, and holding your perspective on that instead of holding your perspective on the experience of life up to the point that you die. And I think that's sort of what the deer is saying to us. You know what, Fuzzbutt? Let's dangle your venison off this cliff and then see how you feel about oceans. You know, fair, Sarah, fair. I'm not sure it's optional. I trust we will find out. You're a real beacon of hope, you are. Is there reason not to be? The heck am I supposed to be hopeful for now? Getting out of your current situation. Assuming that is your ambition. The hanging off a cliff situation? It is a situation with a conclusion. The conclusion is not out of your control. Can I ask you something? Potentially. Am I actually balancing on the edge of a cliff? Yes. The edge of an immeasurably steep cliff. Great, thank you. Not at all. How on earth am I supposed to get off this cliff edge, dearie? Breathe. Slowly. Breathing. It is a start. I've been kind of doing that anyway. Good. Focus on it. Still not really getting anywhere. First, take a moment. close your eyes. Oh, we're zooming in. Inhale deeply. Count backwards from 5. At 0, exhale. Okay, that did help. Wonderful. You can gain clarity and perspective when you slow your thoughts to a glacial pace. Now, what are you going to do? Just sit here, sitting and waiting for something to happen to you. You will undoubtedly wait for quite some time. I've got time. You might not have all the time you think. I thought you were making me feel better. At times, a practical approach is most useful. Certainly not always. But perhaps now. Noted and appreciated. I like our friend. I do actually like our dear friend here. Reversing, sure. More smoke. Okay, bad idea. That did not sound quite like the correct noise. It was absolutely the incorrect noise. Also, title of the game, Far From Noise. What is the problem? The engine is dead. So you are trapped in that contraption? It does this. Perhaps not wise to coast so close to the coast. Thanks for the timely advice. It is the least I can do. It's a bit late for it, though. Difficult to say. It depends on what you are able to do. Depends on how long I can cling to this cliff. For what? Wait for the engine to cool down? Time may not be on your side in this case. How long must we wait? Pretty much overnight. A night is a long time to wait when you stare death in the eye. Comforting. Perhaps you should explore other avenues of escape. Like what? Have you considered getting out? Well, no. A viable option. Oh, I don't trust that. Especially because we haven't even hit nighttime yet. Easy for you to say. You're on the right side of misfortune. You are not a world away. Well, I don't know. I'm flipping a coin. Fuck, we might die here. Alright, I guess it's worth a shot. Nope. Looks like we're here for the long run. Oof. Fucking yikes. So, why were you wandering here? It's a strange place to be. I could ask you the same question. I'll tell you later. As you wish. And anyway, I totally asked you first. I drift as a cloud to the various places that call to my spirit. This is one such place to watch the world unwind. It is beautiful. I am glad you agree. Not everyone can appreciate what lies before them. It's been oddly calming. I always find it to be so. Do you always come here? I go where I am drawn to. These cliffs have always held significance. It seems the hands of fate pointed us both here today. What drew you here? There is something special about this edge of the world. Well, I mean, I don't pick any old rock to throw myself off. I have taste. Does this place feel strange to you? I don't know what it is. It feels significant. Like we're the only two left in the world. For all we know, we are. That doesn't bode well for the fate of the planet. The planet will continue on. Probably better off. What do you think it is? The significance? Everything. Combined. What you feel as sunbeams streaming through the sky. Weave through every hum of life on this cliff. Until they sing. The significance is the harmony. The sum of life. Is death involved in the sum of life? Death is essential in this scene. For the harmony of life rings only the more pure for its impermanence. Would any of this be quite so beautiful were it everlasting? Everlasting is an exhausting notion. Perpetually me. Perpetually here. In perpetuity. Then you can appreciate the poetry of transience. And so shall read my tombstone. She perished violently in a fireball at the bottom of a cliff, appreciating the poetry of transience. If you like. I guess I just feel like a spectator. Spectator? I feel like I'm looking at something. Not like I'm part of some grand, beautiful design. Largely down to your perspective. Like a narrow mind? And obscured line of sight. Obscured. Blurred. By the arrogance of youth. By the glass of the windows. Oh. You cannot hope to experience the universal totality and grace of nature when your view is warped from the outset. Even if I could get out and bask in the sunbeams or whatever, how am I supposed to feel all connected? You have to extend your mind beyond the car. What for? The car is insignificant in relationship to the whole. It's significant to me when compared with the grand impression of the world on the mind, on the soul. The car is a minor detail. The car is my entire world right now. Yeah, I'm with our car person on this one. Like, perspectives and significance can shift. It can be subjective, and it can be based entirely on context. In this moment, that is how it feels. Yeah. Your life hangs in the balance. The threads of your fate lay exposed. The car holds you captive. What matters is what is outside. Outside the car? Yes. Outside. Let's see, we have tree. Some grass. Talking deer. Whenever I have found myself in a worrisome situation, far from hope, far from resolve, I always found the comfort to be in nature. What if your worrisome situation is nature? Sometimes you have to stand over the brink of fear in order to know truth. To stare into oblivion. The moment of perfect exhilaration will offer clarity. A tranquil restoration. This is your idea of tranquil restoration? Yes. Okay, I kind of agree with the deer on that one. It is a manner of thinking. I mean, that's the whole thing that he was having us do with the breathing and all of that. It's all about trying to find that clarity, despite the context. In a manner of death proximity, actually. But right this moment, you are given the chance to look. You were brought here to this grand spectacle for a reason. Here, you can witness everything. Let the wind wash over you as a wave. Let the sunlight pour into you and fill your spirit. It's not that easy. Think about it. About what? Your situation. Okay. You marked out your options yourself. My options. Yes. Wait? Still? Wait. Still. In the meantime, you have an opportunity. I do? I invite you to focus your attention on the horizon. Just the horizon? The horizon. Focus. Focus on that horizon, chat. Are you focusing? What do you see? Line. Look deeper. Truly look. Until the world slips away to nothing but you and the horizon. Whoa. Okay. This is happening now. While days unfold, I find my sight fall to the sea. Time turns circles while the tide draws breath. I hover before myself, suspended over waves like a bird. Along drifting currents, I sweep the surface to a fold. Where I become light, a flake of glass. The tide exhales. In transparency, I return. I don't feel either of these. I'm feeling that big kumbaya one with everything vibe. I feel big. I feel expanded. Like I've dissociated a little bit from the sense of self into this sense of space. I'll go with it does kind of make me feel tiny. And we return. To the cliff. This I have found to be true. If you do not feel miniature, you are not looking far enough. Fair. So, I see what you mean. Like, look into the horizon. Or just around. And you can feel a connection. Something meaningful or deeper or whatever. Like you belong. Put a pin in that. I might bring that up again later. I think that's what I'm looking for. You will not know until you let go. I'll try. Would you now care to share your reasons for coming out to this place? Yeah, sure. Partially because Dylan wants to know what this character's reasons are. So, background check. Yes, I was studying. The study of what? Ooh, architecture, film, or marine biology. Also, I think all three of these are titles of tracks on the soundtrack. Marine biology would be really ironic. What kind of person would drive this car and name it Carlos? You know what? Let's go with it. It's very not me, but the ocean. Sweet Mother Ocean. And all her kitties. Fish kitties. And Sweet Mother Ocean is your true calling? I thought so. Kinda impossible to know, right? It is more a feeling than a knowing. Yeah, I guess so. When did you start to feel it? I feel like I should be lying on a sofa talking about this. Let's see. So, I can kind of pinpoint when my aquatic obsession started. Yes. Alright, so when I was a kid, we went on this trip. Just a holiday, visiting beaches somewhere hot and Europe-y. Normally, I'd go out swimming with my dad, but this one time, I went solo. You were what age? I think it was 8 or 9. So there's me, swimming along with these massive goggles on. Looking for all the bright little fish in the rocks. When I see these teeth sticking out from between the rocks. Teeth? Yaha, teeth. Thin, spiky teeth slowly opening and closing. Like this nightmare face laughing at me underwater. I swam back so fast. It was kind of amazing. And that inspired you? Teeth? Honestly, it scared the living daylights out of me. I had nightmares for years. But at the same time, I was so fascinated by it. This horror movie monster was living down there this whole time. Living its creepy life. And for like the longest time, I couldn't stop thinking about it. How many other weirdo creatures are down there, you know? Did you ever discover what the creature was? I'm pretty sure it was an eel. They're totally harmless. In darkness, the most innocent creature becomes a hellhound. A hellfish. A hellfish. But like, this hellfish had seized my youthful mind. I went crazy over it, read a million books. Totally obsessed over whales. Whales? God, yeah, you know their hearts are the size of this car? Did you know a blue whale's tongue weighs as much as an elephant? I don't know if this deer knows what an elephant is. Quite the heart. I know, right? It's crazy. I love it. It's so mysterious. So you dedicated your life in search of solving the ocean's mysteries? You could say that. I could. Well, I was studying all this. I see. And then I wasn't. I left. You left. Studying the mysteries of life? I guess that's ongoing. I left university. Hello, meaningless loans. What led you to leave? I don't know. I just didn't feel like I could do it. Like, I'd waited for such a long time. And when it came, it was so overwhelming. It wasn't what I'd imagined. And I didn't feel like I could do it anymore. Maybe I'm not smart enough. What if you never went? What difference would it make? What else am I gonna do? You would figure it out. How? Whatever you are meant to do would make itself clear. Like, fall off this cliff? This deer is very into the whole idea of fate and determinism in a way that I personally am not. Which is not to say that I'm, like, entirely opposed to the concept. There's a level of intent that this deer is describing that I don't know that I personally believe or agree with. Not to knock it, not to yuck the deer's yums. I'm more of a, like, the universe is made up of rules, and that means that at some point there must be some amount of, like, things are just gonna happen, you know? Like, the sun burns. We don't get to decide whether the sun burns. Fall off this cliff? Perhaps that is it. Why not make this meaningful? I can't just decide to give things meaning. Oh, here we go, nihilism time. Yes, you can. Surely that is all you can do? Then everything is meaningless. Uh-huh. It only means nothing if you deem it so. There we go. So it all meant me dying in a car? It all meant something. But for now, perhaps it means watching the sunset on the edge of a cliff. Why did you come here? To see the waves and hope my life becomes clear? I thought if I looked out, I'd feel like everything matters. And does it? I don't know. It does not always work that way. I find some of the most important realizations come not in the moment, but after. In normality. When your mind wanders back to this place, then perhaps you will find clarity in clouded times. Gotta leave it to the memories, I guess. Precisely. Life is not over. I suppose... I don't know, maybe I'll go back to it. We still have each other, right? That is enough. That is enough as in shut up, or that is enough as in we complete each other? That is enough. You're difficult. But I like you. And I you. You're sweet. I do like our friend. Where were we? Life. Life. Are you ready to bear witness to life's conclusion? Who is to say it concludes? You mean the afterlife? A new beginning, perhaps. It's the beginning of being dead. Which isn't much of a start. It could be. Who's to say? Who indeed? You? Are you like the angel of death or something? What do you think? I don't know what to think anymore. You're baffling, dear. Are you an angel? Of course I am, girl. Look at me. Yeah, I'm going with that one. Why did you choose this place? Hidden away, lost in space. I used to come out here when I was a kid. I've always loved the cliffs. That's true. I actually live right next to some cliffs, and I used to fuck around on them all the time. Dangerous shit. Bad idea. Do not recommend. I would count how many faces I could see in the rocks. Mostly dog faces. Chiseled rock dudes. It was funny to me, all these dimpled cliff bros. Just immortalized here, flexing at the sea. Getting waved at. We need some levity. Get it? Get what? Waved at, because waves. Never mind. But yeah, knowing they were here, or at least thinking they were, was always comforting. My unmoving boulder uncles always got my back. I was a pretty weird kid. Are we getting fireflies? Were these here the entire time? No, we're definitely getting fireflies. Ah! Turtle. What is it? A traveler approaches. What? Where? It came from the rocks and the flowers. The birthplace of all evil. I don't see anything. Oh, I see it. I can't tell if it's a moving rock or a turtle. I believe it is a tortoise. Close enough. And we're getting on toward night. God, it makes me all shivery just looking at it. Cowering in its shell of deceit. I love turtles and tortoises, though. Sure. They are hiding something. All of them. I'm on to you, tortoise. Why do you hate the tortoise? I have my reasons. It means no harm. Look at it. You haven't seen them like I have. They're vicious. Vicious? Vicious. I was traumatized as a child, alright. By a tortoise. Turtle. Different entirely. You know what their mouth is called? A beak. When I was like 9, my brother's friend brought his fun new pet around to our house. A fun little baby turtle. Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. How fun. Imagine my delighted anticipation. Until I see it. Snarling beak snapping open and closed like garden shears. So they force me to grab hold of its spiny husk. Damn girl, chill. Its long snake neck wriggles out and twists round. And it bites me. Right then. Right on the arm. I'm still scarred. And it was a baby. Oh my god. Imagine what it could do now. It would slice my arm clean off. This little one does not look like it knows violence. How can you say that? Look at it. They're masters of illusion. Cuteness is a veil. Oh, a frog. Hello, friends. Oh, hey, look, frog friend. This is gonna get snapped by that turtle, isn't it? Or tortoise. A secret meeting. Not very secret, guys. We can see you. Oh, I love that. Oh my god. That's adorable. It's like a little turtle taxi. That's adorable. This is cute. Oh, they're going. Oh god, I love that so much. Do you think they're dating? Stranger things have happened. Okay, maybe turtles aren't so bad. That was cute. Growth! I love how much we're getting, both how much we're getting to learn about our character in this context, but how much we're getting to see them grow and change and, like, adapt to things within this very limited context. It's good writing. I'll see how I feel next time. When did it become night? It approached without a whisper. Like a midnight ghosty. Yes. A midnight ghosty. Whoa. Just noticed the stars. I did just notice the stars. Let's take this shit in, dear friend. I don't even remember the last time I saw this many. You never see the stars? Where I live, you're lucky if you see the moon. That must be isolating. They mean something when I do see them, at least. Or more than choosing to live alone? This one. In days of absence, I will long for a night sky. Don't you ever find it a bit overwhelming? Overwhelming. Just looking up. All the everythings. Billions of light beams glaring straight into my soul. I feel the weight of it all hanging there. But the stars are here with us, you see. They share the night with us. But why bother? Why should it mean anything? They're too far away to matter. Distance is nothing. They are as much with us as I with you. Think. Does anything offer this same tranquility? Nothing lulls the soul lost in reverie as the stars. It's another one of his aphorisms, shards of glitter and glass suspended over us. Yeah, they're beautiful, just isolating. Try this. Focus your gaze on a single star. Let's do it. I'm focusing. Okay. Got one. Consider the journey that lone flicker of light, damn it, has taken, I think. A strand of silver weaves its way across a galaxy, streaming through celestial clouds, across the backs of shimmering worlds. A lone light finally finds itself here. The beauty of the night is its ability to levitate you, weightless one moment, and swallow you the next. Oddly enough, it is actually nice being out here. Quite the night. Sure is. Wait, where's the moon at? Behind you. Just out of sight. Ain't that just the way? Bring the camera back, since we seem to be staying here. On countless evenings past, I have found myself here, gazing up at the moon. Lost, weightless, suspended in time. All the while the stag in the moon gazes back. The stag in the moon? The stag in the moon. You do not know it? I think you mean the man in the moon. The man in the moon? I suppose we all see a reflection of ourselves in the face of the moon. But it's the Sandman! Oh, Mr. Sandman, sand me a man. Huh. Maybe you're right. Perhaps. Perhaps. We used to come out here and make up constellations when we were younger. Constellations? Yeah, you know, the stories in the stars. Stories in the stars. Say what? Okay, so there's a ton of real constellations. Dreamed up by a bunch of skeletons. Yeah. But they're boring. I see. Their story is told in pictures dotted in the stars. Ah, tales of adventures and philosophers mapped out in the sky. Exactly. Let's see if I can remember any of ours. Zowie the Acrobat, Avery the Queen of Steel. Avery the Queen of Steel, hell yeah, that sounds dope. Quite the title. Oh, look. It's actually showing us. It's quite the woman. Avery was a powerful and beautiful woman. My personal favorite. She was bigger than a boulder with a gaze of pure steel. With her steely vision, she could transform anything she wished into pure glistening steel. Impressive. Yep. However, all was not well. It was not. Despite how tirelessly the people worshipped her. For her steel. I'm really driving this home because it's a kid thing. It's kids. She just wanted to be left alone. Why? They just didn't vibe with her. Yeah. I can understand that. So, in an effort to hide away from her raging fandom, she turned an entire forest to steel and took refuge within. Also a leopard. Called Rama. After many blissful months of peace, despite the steeliness of her forest fortress, her followers found her and began throwing themselves once more at her steel-clad feet. Praise the Steel Queen, they would chant. One night, when the stars were glistening brightly across Rama's back, the Steel Queen decided to end the parade. She commanded the brightest stars in the sky to turn into steel, forming a perfect image of herself in the heavens. Seeing how much larger this new Steel Queen was, The relentless followers turned their chants to the sky. The end. I actually really liked that. That was, I mean, it was a little silly, obviously. Meant to be a story that kids came up with. But, like, I don't know. It had imagination to it. Had an arc. I shall never look at those stars the same way. Yay! We shared a thing with our friend. Tell me, what others do you know? Well, got Ralphie the Argonaut. There's the worm? I like this. I like where this is going. Where's the worm? Where's the worm? Show me the worm. Where them worms at? The worm? Yeah, immortalized in the stars because it was the first worm. The first worm. Yeah, first worm. Original worm. From where did this first worm descend? Or ascend? Fell out of someone's ear, it grew from a seed. The worm descended from the very stars we see now. I like it grew from a seed. A seed worm. Exactly. And so it traveled across the globe, singing its worm lullaby into the soil, and planting new worms in every continent. What became of the first worm? No one knows. Some say, when the moon is waning, as thin as a worm, if you press your ears to the soil, you can hear the lullaby of the first worm, softly humming through the ground. At the next worm moon, I shall listen. Excellent. What other legends linger in the stars? Good question. I'm out of ideas. I see something. Yes! What is it? Enid. Enid? Enid. Just Enid? Should it be Enid the something? Doesn't have to be. Just Enid, then. Cool. Who is she? A great philosopher. Of course she was. She was an expert in silence. Was she a monk? Perhaps. A silent monk philosopher. Philosopher. It was by choice, her eternal silence. But she could talk? She could. How could anyone tell? It was obvious. In place of words, she chose thought. She considered concepts so grand. She fathomed abstractions so unfathomable. Ideas so spectacular and utterly groundbreaking. Groundbreaking. That one day, she literally broke the ground and was swallowed by the resulting crevasse. Whoops. Dude. It is customary to stay silent when observing the Enid formation. Out of respect and admiration. Got it, bud. I'm actually finding it difficult to comment on this game as we're playing it, to like really give commentary, because the pacing is so good. Like, it's so well, like the pauses do so much while they're there, like the silent moments, the periods of time where normally I would speak up and say something about the game. They just feel so perfectly timed. Like they're just the right length. There's just the right atmosphere with them, and the dialogue that leads into them really benefits from that silence, right? From that pause, from that space. And so it feels weird to me to interject myself into that space, in a way that for a lot of other games it wouldn't be a big deal. They certainly know their writing tricks here, yeah. My bad. Sorry, Enid. Oh, headlights are on. That's a good sign, right? Is it true your antlers fall off every year? Oh, hello, Badger. Ah! What is it? That thing. It is harmless. Are you kidding me? Do you know what that is? Yes. Badger. That much I can see. They're vicious beasts. Do we even like animals? Also, I see this happening. This little one does not look so vicious. Oh, if only you knew. Watch your ankles. It looks more cuddly than anything. Cuddly? If you cuddled that, you'd lose an antler. Have you tried? Have you? No. Well then. Right, let me tell you a story. All right. So when I was a kid, I had this fluffy toy penguin called Ernest. Ernest? Yes, Ernest. Hello. Anyway, me and Ernest were like best buds. We went everywhere together. So this one night, I'm losing my mind because I can't find him. My mom tells me we'll find him in the morning. I'm a wreck. So next day, we're in the garden, and I see a wisp of white blow by. Oh no, did a badger kill Ernest? Delicately dancing in the wind. It was pleasant, dreamy almost. It isn't long before I locate the source. In the bushes at the bottom of the garden. There lies sweet Ernest. Disemboweled. Ooh, rip. It was awful. So my dad goes looking for evidence, trying to avenge my woe. There, behind the hedges, he unveils this demonic, frothing badger. Nestled in Ernest's remains. Nestled. You really had some bad childhood animal interactions, damn. I learned a lot that day. About letting go. About the bloodthirst of badgers. They're demons. You ought not let the actions of one affect your opinion of the whole. Maybe you're right. He's absolutely right. That one was pretty harrowing, though. This one is not. What's it doing? Very little. Wandering. Wondering. Plotting. There is little in the way of plotting to note. It's all internal. Trust me. Hello. Greetings, badger friend. Here it comes. To disembowel you, I should think. Don't say that! Goodbye, friend. It was a pleasure. Think we're fine? Are we fine? Okay. Bye, buddy. Your adversary has departed. Maybe they're not so bad. They are not so bad. I take it all back. The next badger I see, I shall meet with a smile. I don't know anymore, dear. Do you? Do I what? Do you know? Do I know what? I don't know. Then neither do I. I don't know what to feel anymore. A piano could drop on me right now and I wouldn't feel it. I just don't care anymore. I'm sick of clinging on pointlessly. Why should I still care? What is it? Wait. What is it? Holy shit. Oh, that's not good. I thought I heard thunder earlier. You have got to be kidding me. Alright, everything I said before about things being bad, they were fine. Now they're bad. The beauty was just getting started. What? What is more beautiful than this? Literally anything else. But is anything more mesmerizing than the transformation brought by the rain? Puppies! Anything! Life would be nothing without beauty. Well, we're not going to be alive to see it. You worry about death while life ignites around you. That is an accurate statement. This is the fire of beauty that rages from the earth. Holy shit. Serenity lay in wait to be ripped apart for the wildest form. Torrents of exhilaration pour from the sky. Quakes shake the ocean to cry out. Blistering crescendo from every form of life. All are thrust from the rest to revel in violent beauty. Nothing sleeps while nature takes its fiercest dance. I feel I should be terrified, but I'm not. I don't know what I feel. I love lightning. Like personally. A long pause. Oh. And there we go. Have you ever seen anything like that? Well, I have seen storms. There are never two quite the same. I've never been anywhere near a storm like that. We're still here. Sun's coming up. Christ, now the sun's coming up. Thus lifts the veil of night. I can't believe we've been here the entire night. You and I are invincible. Honestly, I don't even feel like the same person. I came out here so worried about what I'm supposed to do. But it all seems so inconsequential now. It's all so pointless. Which is actually a relief. The waves will keep on crashing after I'm gone. The tree will still be clinging on. Even if I never came back. If I never came here in the first place. That consistency is so grounding. Like, it doesn't matter what I do in the future. It really doesn't make a difference. Not on this scale, but it does make a difference on other scales, in different contexts. Yes, the ocean is beautiful. Maybe I'll be buried in it tomorrow, but it's pretty okay now. It's nice to just have that right now. I know this cliff will still be here, even if I left. Just being here, away from everything else. Even remembering that it's here. It's like soaking up a sponge with the horizon and the clouds and everything. And then just taking it away. Leaving. Knowing that it all carries on. Hey, where are you going? Friendo? Goodbye, stag. Oh, that makes me sad. It's just us, Carlos. Want to give it another shot? Start the engine. Oh, that's rude. Oh. Oh, I hate that. I mean, I don't hate it. So it's clearly it's left ambiguous as to whether we fell or we drove away. Like, it's... Ugh. I mean, the whole point of the game, right, is that, you know, it's about experiencing things, right? It's about experiencing the moment. It's about taking the time to have the moment now instead of focusing on where you think you're going to end up, right? And so it makes sense, right? You're supposed to experience the game instead of focusing on whether or not your character is actually going to be able to drive out or whether they're going to die, right? Instead of focusing on the end of the game, you're supposed to focus on the moments during the story. And I think it did a really good job of getting me into that space. Oh, look at all these names that came up during the thing. Made with yarn and Unity. And I think also it's about you know, there's a nihilistic bent to it about how we imbue things with meaning, right? Things don't inherently have meaning themselves. You know, nothing in the universe has meaning that we don't give to it. And so this game, too, works in the same way, right? It's not telling us what happens to our character. It's leaving that for us, right? We decide whether the character drove away or fell off the cliff. So it's like, it's very internally consistent. We are, however, sitting on the screen for quite some time. Maybe I will be It will stand corrected if we wait long enough. I don't know. Because the credits are done and we're still here. I don't know. But I really liked that. I mean, the music was beautiful. The writing was great. I do think the like limited low poly, or the low poly limited palette style worked really well for this game. I loved the arc for our character, and I loved the way that the deer interacted with us. How it started from this just like sort of managing your calm, right? It started from this place of just like helping our character get to a place where she could be in this space, and then just sharing that space with us for, you know, the night. I really liked that. And I think the game did a really, really good job of like backing up its message with the game itself. I'm gonna click and see what happens. Yep. There we go. There we go. Far from noise. Woo. And that's it. That's the game. That's the whole game. That said, that's not the only way that the game can go. I think it might even have multiple endings. Let me just double check real quick. It does say it has narrative events that change on multiple playthroughs, so I'm not sure if that means like the game is different when you play it again, or just that. I know that it does have multiple endings driven by choices that shape the narrative. Okay. So, if you would like to see a different ending, or play through multiple times and see if playing through more than once has an effect, I highly recommend picking up this game. It's very cheap. It's like $8. It's on Steam and itch.io. If you're watching this live on Twitch right now, hello chatters, thanks for hanging out with me at super late o'clock. I recommend picking it up on itch, because as of today, that being Friday, July 23rd, it is an itch.io Creators Day, which means that 100% of the money that you spend on itch.io right now is going to the creators of the games and the things that you buy. Itch.io is taking 0% cut for the day. So if you want to pick up the game, I do recommend it. I really, really liked this. And at least for today, I would recommend going with itch. But yeah, I think I want to give this game... Is this a 10 out of 10 for me? I think this is a 10 out of 10. I'm trying to think what I would do better. Or what I think could be done better, rather. Like, what I would change. What I would think needs more time. Like, there was a typo in there. But, like, that's not worth knocking a point off. Yeah, I mean, I have the ending I would like. And maybe that ending is out there and we just didn't get it. My preference my preference would be that we drive back off the cliff and we're okay. I'm a sucker for happy endings, or just like not tragic endings. And I feel like there's a difference between writing for the consumer of the media and writing for the characters within the media. And so what I mean by that is, I think that either way, whether your character dies, whether your character lives, either way is functionally equivalent for the player, right? Because the player is learning these lessons. They're listening to this perspective, they're walking through the story and experiencing change through their character, but the player themselves is experiencing that change, right? And that change then gets carried with them out of the game and on into the rest of their life. This is why game design, is important, is because it doesn't just affect the player within the space of the game, it affects the player, if done well, it affects the player outside of that as well. But if you are writing for the perspective of the characters, or if you're writing for the characters within the media, so if you're writing for our character in the car, it's more impactful, I think, to have the character go through this experience, right? She's learned all these lessons. She's learned to take this perspective where she's part of an environment, right? She's part of a larger whole, instead of just focusing on, this very minuscule piece of it, and specifically learning to experience that as it's happening, rather than just in memory or just in foresight, right? Just anticipating what's going to happen next. And those are important lessons for this character. And she changes because of it. And I think that change is more impactful if she gets to then live her life with those changes. Personally. Those are my thoughts. But, there are multiple endings. Maybe that's in there somewhere. And I'm going to play this game again. Not right now. And probably not on stream. But I definitely recommend picking it up. So yeah, thank you. For YouTube, let's talk for a second. Let's go to this screen. Hello, YouTube. And also hello, chat, but specifically YouTube. Wait, quit. Yes, I'm sure. No, I'm not. Yeah, yes, I am sure. There we go. Hello, YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed it and that it was interesting and relaxing, as was the goal going into this. It actually was a lot less intense and existential than I was really expecting. I was kind of expecting like tragedy and sadness and broken hearts and all that stuff. So I'm glad that it ended up being as chill as it was. If you would like to see more stuff like this, there will be a video or two linked at the end of this one, such as the first tree is one. But I actually have a whole series of videos that are sort of like this, playing games like this that are more chill, that come from a lot of these late night streams. So if you want to stick around and watch one of those, it'd be greatly appreciated. But either way, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your time on YouTube. Goodbye.